The fastest growing type of family in the United States are step families. And for some, the blending of two families is smooth, but for others, it can be rocky. Dr. Bryan of Pfeiffer Reach is here with tips on how to make sure the step family feels like a real family, because it is.
It is.
Dr. Bryan, what do parents need to consider before blending families?
Well, a couple of things are really important to keep in mind. When the two adults get together, usually in a marriage, they have some time where it's just the two of them, that they can, make the decisions that couples need to make about where they're going to spend the holidays and how money gets spent and things like that. But for step families, those with kids, oftentimes those very same questions are complicated by the fact that you've not only got kids to consider, but extra in-laws, ex-spouses, all of that kind of stuff. So it makes it even more complicated.
All right, so if a child has a negative reaction to the new spouse, how should that be handled?
Very carefully, actually, because it's really normal, right? A lot of times kids feel like you're kind of stepping in and maybe trying to take this other parent's place. And so you're not my real dad or you're not my real mom are pretty normal sorts of reactions. And so letting kids express their feelings while not, being aggressive with the other parent or being really disrespectful, but it's okay to have those kinds of feelings, and to let them know, what, you can love your dad and your stepdad, that those two things can happen at the same time, and that's okay. And that even though stepdad and mom are spending a lot of time together because they need to, it doesn't mean that mom loves them any less.
Okay. For the newly married couple, should they talk about how the kids will be disciplined and who is going to handle it?
Absolutely, preferably before everybody all moves in together. This actually is one of the biggest points of contention, kind of no matter how old the kids are or how long they've even known this other person. Maybe when you were dating or just seeing each other, they really liked them because that was the person they came over and had fun with, and now all of a sudden it's like a parent instead. Oh no. And so for the parents to decide and to be a united front for the kids that this is how we're going to parent. In general, it's best if the biological or natural parent takes the lead in being the person who does the discipline. And then the step parent can play a number of different roles, either kind of as a backup person for the natural parent, because it's nice to have that person kind of to lean on. And maybe even as kind of an older kind of friend for the kids, not to go behind the natural parent's back, but to say, I know it kind of sucks when you're grounded, but you made the decision and that's mom's rules, and so you're going to have to follow those, but in a less kind of parental way. One of the worst things to do is to come in to absolutely take over for the natural or biological parent, and then the kids are like, who are you and who gave you, the right to do that? Exactly. All
right, so how do therapists at Pfeiffer Reach help individuals and couples navigate these waters?
And it can be a difficult navigation, and I actually really like that metaphor, because what we can do maybe is plot out maybe a route that you can take to make the waters a little bit less choppy. So things are going to be, kind of rocky, but there are the different things that you can do, and a lot of times it helps to have kind of a third party who's able to see maybe a little more clearly.
To mitigate that.
Yeah,
okay, well, you can learn more about all of this by going to pfeifferreach.org or call 919-941-2900.